welcome back guys. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on sort of winter hair care. Basically just a few things that I like to do not only during winter but all year round to keep my hair moisturised and soft and protected. I'm basically just going to jump right into this list, and if you think I've missed anything then just let me know in the comments. Tip number 1. Protective styling. You've probably heard this term at least once from every natural hair YouTuber you've ever watched. I can't stress how important in this. See this? My hair is protectively styled right now. This is so important for length retention and to retain moisture and overall helping to contribute to the growth of your hair. Not only the growth of your hair but the health of your hair. Whether that means twists or braids with or without extensions, cornrows or wigs or even weaves. I personally don't recommend weaves. I think wigs are probably a better option. Slightly less damaging, much less tension involved there. If I were to do any kind of style like that, I would personally choose wigs over weaves. But yeah, any kind of style that means that you're putting your hair away and you're not constantly manipulating it. Protective styling, kids. Having mentioned that, if you didn't catch my other video, I filmed the process of me braiding my own hair. So I basically learned to do that recently. It's been life-changing. I've saved so much money on getting my hair braided because for me, especially where I live, there's not many people that I know that can braid hair, or it's not easy to get hold of them, or, you know, like too much tension is a thing for me. I don't like having my hairline snatched, so I try and avoid that as much as possible. And in doing so, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to learn to braid my hair myself, so that's a thing. Go check out the video to see how it went down. Tip number 2. Forget shampoo. I mean, like, you can still shampoo if you want to, but I feel like using shampoo to cleanse your hair is not totally necessary, especially again in the winter time when my hair and scalp tend to get drier. I would definitely recommend just switching to maybe a co-wash or even just using conditioner to wash your hair, because I find that as long as you use a product that is completely natural and doesn't contain sulfates, parabens, etc., I think it's completely fine to use a conditioner to really cleanse your hair and scalp without stripping your hair of essential moisture. Personally, I found that this product right here works amazingly well for that, and this is the Cantu Shea Butter sulfate-free hydrating cream conditioner. Not only is it amazing for moisturising my hair, but it cleanses my hair so well that I can go a few washes without even shampooing. But again, it's up to you, personal preference. If you want to continue with shampoo, just make sure you don't get products that have harmful, damaging ingredients in them that will dry out your hair in the long run, because again, that's what we're trying to avoid. The goal is to retain moisture, not strip your hair of it. You can buy a specific co-wash product, or you could just use a conditioner that you already use and that you already love. That also brings me to my next point, number 3. Deep conditioning is essential. I personally find that deep conditioning is essential to my routine. I've heard that a few people don't like to deep condition. I've seen them in the Instagram comments. For me, that's unusual. Deep conditioning has been part of my routine since I was yay high. That's just always been a thing for me. And I think it's really important because I'm not an expert, but I've also heard from other natural hair YouTubers that it penetrates the follicles of your hair, so it helps to like fill the gaps in your strands and basically just gives you this crazy intense moisture that you won't necessarily get from just daily products, and helps to repair your hair. So I definitely recommend it, and the one that I've been using and loving is the Palmer's Coconut Oil Formula Deep Conditioning Protein Pack. And it's basically, I've just put it in this little Ziploc bag because I've used it once and I've definitely been able to get multiple uses out of this in the past. This one pack that cost me just under £2 in my local hair shop, or like beauty supply store, literally lasts me about 4 or 5 uses. I find that when I twist my hair into large sections and deep condition that way, I use a lot less conditioner than I would if my hair was just all out, but it's just as effective. So I would definitely recommend deep conditioner, and that Palmer's deep conditioner is honestly amazing, and I think it's definitely worth the money. Tip number 4. I think it's so important, again, it being winter, to make sure you keep up the level of moisture of your hair. For some, that means re-moisturising your hair every day. It depends for me. For me, if my hair is if I've just cornrowed my hair like this, I'll just put some hair cream in the partings and like around my edges and sort of like a little bit on the cornrows, but not too much so as not to make them frizzy. I'll just brush it into the edges of my hair and then that's it. But for some, it's like doing the full lock method every day, and that's fine too. But I think it also depends on how much time you have. If I've twisted up my hair, I'll just use a spray bottle, and you can get these in maybe Home Bargains, or if you live in America, maybe Walmart or Target or wherever. You can get them so cheaply. Spritz my hair with water, rub a bit of oil in the palms of my hands, and then I'll just lightly sort of spruce my twists up just to rejuvenate them, and it makes such a difference every day. Locks some moisture in my hair and makes the style look a little bit more refreshed. Yeah, so that's also important. Maintenance, upkeep, not just relying on the benefits of the products you used on wash day, but also keeping that up through the week. And if your hair is maybe in braids or twists, then just, you know, making sure you put some kind of cream or oil in the roots of your hair. I wouldn't recommend grease because I just think that's too heavy. The typical ones that we used when we were younger tend to contain a lot of drying products, unfortunately, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you use them. But again, use what works for your hair, because I'm not a specialist and I'm just talking about what works for me in my experience. Tip number 5. Again, another thing to do with moisturizing briefly is one thing I really like to do is when I put my hair in like mini twists, I love to shower without a shower cap. Most times you use a shower cap to keep your hair dry, and that's understandable. But if I'm gonna moisturize with like oil and hair cream afterwards, I will shower without a shower cap, just because it helps to dampen my hair really nicely. And it just means I don't have to spray my hair from all angles, try and get around, try and get in the back, try and get under them twists. The steam and the spray of the water in the shower just helps to dampen my hair really nicely all round. So that, in that sense, saves me a little bit of time in the morning as well when I'm getting ready for school. It's literally just an easy way to make sure your hair gets dampened properly. Tip number 6. This one's important. I mean, they're all important, but this one's important. I stopped using a towel to dry my hair a couple years ago now, probably, and it's just that one small change has done the most for my life. Instead, I'd recommend that you use a cotton t-shirt and don't rub your hair, pat it dry, squeeze it a little bit to get the water out of your hair, and it just helps to protect your strands. It drastically reduces friction, so you'll have less breakage and therefore less damage, and that will also help with length retention. So important, guys. If there's one thing I would tell you not to do, it'd be to stop using your towel to dry your hair. Tip number 7, in terms of increasing circulation and promoting hair growth. Exercise. In the wintertime, if you like to exercise anyway, I would recommend that you amp it up a little bit in the wintertime. I'm not saying go crazy, I'm just saying that, especially because it's cold out, why not take the opportunity to do a little bit more movement? I mean, not only will you be healthier, but you'll also increase blood flow all through your body, which means to your scalp, which also means your hair follicles will have more of what they need in order to help your healthy hair thrive. I would take advantage of that. And exercise doesn't just mean going nuts on the treadmill. Some it means going to the gym, so I know a lot of people enjoy that, and I know a fair few people who do go. For me, one of those people who can't necessarily afford a gym membership, it's fine. I love to whip out a yoga mat in my living room, put YouTube on the big screen, and do some yoga. I love yoga. There's different types that you can do, and there's a lot of different modifications that you can do in order to suit yourself. So I try and take advantage of being able to work out more in the winter, because it's going to be less hot and bothered than you would be in the summertime. Tip number 8, branching off from tip number 7, if you time it right, so in terms of, for me, working out at the end of the week means that wash day is approaching. So what I like to do is wash my hair, and while that deep conditioner is in my hair, put on a shower cap and go and work out. Because we lose a lot of heat through our scalps, that heat is wasted heat, right? I think, you know what, why not use that heat, trap it in a shower cap, and let it activate my deep conditioner. I mean, for those of us that don't have hooded dryers, I think that's a pretty clever way to deep condition. Game changing. It helped just amp up my routine that little bit more. Okay, tip number 9. If you have an itchy scalp like I have had since young, I would recommend that when it comes to your shampooing products or like conditioner, that you add drops of essential oils. And the 3 that I absolutely love the most are lavender oil, peppermint oil, and eucalyptus oil. When I was younger, I found it hard to find good products that I could stick with, because my scalp, like, after using them for just a little while, my scalp would flare up again and it would just be itchy all the time. So I had to switch products quite frequently because I didn't really find that many that helped my scalp. But not only have I switched to natural products, I've also taken to using these essential oils, and they have been absolutely amazing. Literally between every wash day my scalp feels lit. So I would definitely recommend that you use essential oils, because they help so much and they're a natural way to reduce itching and irritation. Final tip, number 10. So as the end of the year approaches, it being the Christmas season, You might want to treat yourself and go to the salon and maybe get a blow dry or straighten your hair depending on who you are, and get a trim and do a length check. Having done all the protective styling and the treatments through the year, depending on when you like to do your length checks and how long you've gone without heat and whether you want to use heat or not, that's all up to you, of course. You just might want to stretch out your hair and see how long it is. It's definitely important to get a good trim once in a while, just to make sure you're not holding on to dead ends, because if you leave them alone, they'll just split up your hair shaft and undo all the great things that you've done for your hair, and that is just tragic. I know how it feels. The growth and the health of your hair are not going anywhere because you're consistently losing length and just seeing your hair all over the bathroom floor. So please, please don't let that happen to you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If I missed out any tips that you might want to recommend, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Don't forget to check out my braiding video, and I'll see you in my next video.